Welcome to another episode of Dox'n Reality. Now, if you saw the past couple episodes, you know that I had a list of passing thoughts that I decided to write down so I do not forget them. So that way I have content to put out there and have things that make you say, that is a good ass question. Why did not I think of that? Let's see, last time. Okay, you saw those, so. Nah, that's Gundam Wing. I'm not sure how much of y'all will be in the anime, but just in case you are, leave a comment down below and we can talk about shit I've seen in anime that make you say, interesting. That is a good ass train of thought. But I have a question to ask my African American audience or black audience, my melanated audience, whatever you motherfuckers call themselves these days. Are white folks really your enemy? And if so, which ones? Now, I know I've triggered quite a few people with this. But then again, they might give me a pass simply because, oh, he's a black guy talking about racism. So, just go ahead, just let him talk and all that, just let him have his black guy pass, I don't think like that. I'm just pointing this out there I'm not about to sit here and put all blames on white folks. I'm not about to sit here and put all the blames on the police department, the CIA, and all that shit. Because despite everything, let's go back to the crack boom in the 80s. Who put a gun to black folks' heads and told them to smoke the crack? You had the money in hand from whatever leftover sources, but instead of just taking a risk and rebuilding, I don't know, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, whatever those other neighborhoods that got burned down, instead of rebuilding that, you just said, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just go waste all my money on these 40 ounces right here. I'm gonna go buy this heroin. I'm gonna go buy this crack, anything to not have to deal with reality. I'm not gonna buy no guns to defend myself because a white folk's gonna come take me away anyway. And I'm starting to question a lot of that shit that was all publicized on the news back in the 60s. Because there are videos surfacing. I have to find that video. But y'all remember that in the school integration back in the 60s where the National Guard was brought in to integrate the schools and all that? Well, there's a channel called Industry Hoax. I don't have a reason to doubt them right now. I really don't. So, because I don't have time to go and do every piece of research, sometimes I have to take folks at their word. I have to take some of their shit on faith. And shit, we're taking the Bible on faith. So before you try to say you're being lazy, no, you do not have time in this lifetime to learn everything about everything. Doing a FOIA request for everything, there's not enough time in the day. And then you'd have to have a whole team, which I do not have, to look at all this. And then I have to work. So, and I do these videos when I can. But I'm just merely pointing y'all in the right direction. So if y'all don't want to take anything at face value, you check the content, then you go look it up yourself and see if it's there. But I'm just passing on the information. So with that being said, they said in that video that on the outside it was all chaos. That was for the media and all that good shit to fulfill a certain narrative, which we see is going on right now with this. And supposedly they say 70% have gotten but they say, students who were actually in the classroom, it was none of that. It was just calm, peaceful. There was no fights breaking out. There was none of that. So all this shit you see in the media is meant to make you think a certain way. And if you feel a certain way before you even meet a person, you're not even going to take the chance to go and get to know them. Like, like the whole stereotypical situation when a black man steps in the elevator with a white woman and she just it's like, bitch, I'm wearing a suit. I don't even got tattoos on me right now, and you still doing that shit. Like, and she don't even talk to you. The second she the next floor opens up, it's not even a floor, but she getting off and running off just to make sure she ain't in there with you. Shit like that is what the media causes to happen. So, but I'm not gonna let the certain folks off the hook. Like, yes, I'm pretty sure redlining was a thing. I'm sure lynchings were a thing, but I'm just saying that there may have been incidences to where they just took one situation, doused it in gasoline, and just burned it all the way up to sear this into your mind that this is what's going on. When in reality, that may not have been the case. Like when you listen to a lot of KKK members describe the type of quote unquote niggers they hate, like they're lazy, they stink, they steal from you, they rape your wives and all, they rape this and that, and you start thinking, hold up, I know a nigga that actually brags about doing that type of shit all the time. I hate that motherfucker too. And it sounds like they're describing niggas. I'm just saying, because you know how lazy some niggas can be. Like you do all the work, then they come around trying to jump on your bandwagon and shit, trying to be like, yeah, we did this, we made this, yeah, we all on the team. It's like, bitch, I shot these videos, I made, I did all this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm pretty sure we all know motherfuckers like that. And those are the motherfuckers that sound like what the KKK is describing. But I reiterate, all white folks the natural enemy to black folks. I gotta stay neutral on that. Not necessarily. And if so, which ones? I say the threat. You can't base it off skin tone. You gotta base it off a person's character. Like, to be honest, I've never been well online. I wouldn't say that online. Yes, I've been called a nigger like a few times by some white boy, but I'm pretty sure if he actually saw me, he wouldn't say the shit to my face. Hell, the first time I actually got called a nigger was on PS2 online on Star Wars Battlefront 2 back in 2005, 2006. Yeah, that's the first time I ever got called a nigger. So if that's the case, I would have been 15 or no, about 15 or 16 the first time I got called a nigger. So you mean I went through 15, 16 years of life without ever getting called a nigger by a white man? And I came up and I grew up in Fifth Ward. But before that, never been called a nigger. And I've hung around quite a few white folks, quite a few Mexicans, never been called a nigger. Like, not to my face anyway. And not to mention, I've been treated better by other nationalities than I have from my own skin tones. So what's that saying? Shit, I've given plenty of help to a lot of folks my skin tone and have been thoroughly disrespected after the fact. But but I really do think there is a concerted effort to. I'm not gonna sit here and base everything off skin tone. I will say this: there's a certain effort to maybe erase people who have a certain frequency, vibration, aura about them, and I don't think it has shit to do with your color. It has something to do with your thought process. If you think outside the box, like I think I'm doing right now, then you are a threat to that framework that's working to homogenize humanity. They want everybody on the same thought. They want everybody to think the same. They don't want nobody to think. Like, if say you're operating a machine and you start to wonder how the fuck does the circuitry, the machine, the resistors, diodes, and all that shit work together to make this, they don't want people to just to analyze it. They just know, just press this button here, and we'll give you $50 an hour. They don't want nobody to make tens of millions off of knowing how that shit actually works. But this is just a small little rant, whatnot. It's keep it less than 10 minutes. But man, make sure you engage with the video. Leave a like, dislike, share. Just engage with the content, please. And just please leave a comment, engage. But mistaPARADOX over and out.